everyone, and welcome into this video. And I know looking at what you can see is the camera angle might be a little bit tilted. That's because I sat my phone on next to my drum set on top of one of my pillows. So I apologize. Let me see if I can get this fixed here to where it looks a little bit a lot. Okay, yep, that's good. That looks better. So again, I apologize if the shot looks a little bit tilted. That's just because I sat my phone on top of one of my pillows next to my drum set and I put one of my pillows on top of my drum seat and my phone on top of the pillow. So I apologize if the shot appears to be a little bit. At least I'll try and straighten this out. See what we can. Let me try this. See if that works a little bit better. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, so I think we're good then. So my shot definitely looks a lot better, and it's not crooked. Well, in this video, I wanted to take a couple of minutes and talk about, well, still talking about sports, but taking a little bit of a different path and talking about minor league baseball. And of course, if you've been with me on my channel ever since January, you'll know that I primarily stick to Crossroads League basketball. But I have talked about some other sports outside of basketball. I know in the spring I talked about a little bit about baseball, softball, and I believe last week I talked about Crossroads League volleyball. Well, I'm going to shift gears just a little bit and talk about minor league baseball. And I wanted to talk about a team in particular that really had a rough season, but came on really, really strong at the end of the second half, and that is the Dayton Dragons, and they are the High A affiliate of the Cincinnati Reds. And looking at Dayton, this is a team that has been located at Day Air Ballpark since 2000. The first game there was back in April of that year, and so this is a team that made the playoffs last year, won the second half last year, and this year they just really, really struggled in the first half. And in the first half, they went 21-44, and they were outscored, and they had a run differential of negative 116, which that stands in terms of runs that they were outscored 116 runs, I should say. And they just really, really struggled in the first half of the year. And then we get to the second half, and in the second half, they played a lot better, and they actually won 18 out of the last 19 games and set a new franchise record for most consecutive wins in a row. And the previous record was 13. That was set back in 2002. And this year, they set a record with 15 straight wins, and that was only 2 wins away from tying the all-time minor league wins in a row record, which was set way back 60 years ago in 1965 by the Cedar Rapids Colonels. And the Colonels are the High A affiliate of the Minnesota Twins, in case you are not aware of that, or maybe you don't follow minor league baseball. But this is a Dayton Dragons team that they came on strong in the second half, and in that last 19 game stretch, this is really, really crazy. But in that last 19 game stretch, their pitching staff, outside of I believe 4 or 5 of those games, held opponents to just 4 runs or less. So obviously that is a very, very good improvement and a positive thing looking forward as 2026 will be here before we know it. And that's definitely a positive thing that manager Vince Harrison Jr. can take into account and look back on. Now, kind of the thing that they struggled with was the offense, and there were some games where they scored a ton of runs, other games they did not. But generally speaking, in those last 19 games, I would say probably about 70% of those games, the Dragons scored 5 or less runs, and of course that just is not really consistent or as competitive as what the Midwest League is. And then you look at the Midwest League in terms of the division. There's an East Division and a West Division, and in the East Division are the West Michigan Whitecaps, which are a high A affiliate of the Detroit Tigers, the Lake County Captains, high A affiliate of the Cleveland Guardians, the Great Lakes Loons, which are the high A affiliate of the Los Angeles Dodgers, the Lansing Lugnuts, which are the high A affiliate of the Athletics of Oakland, and the Fort Wayne Tin Caps, which are high A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. Then in the West Division, you have Beloit. They're in Wisconsin. They're the high A affiliate of the Miami Marlins. The Quad Cities River Bandits, high A affiliate of the Kansas City Royals. The South Bend Cubs, which are high A affiliate of the Chicago Cubs. And then I mentioned the Cedar Rapids Colonels a few minutes ago, high A affiliate of the Minnesota Twins. The Peoria Chiefs, which are high A affiliate of the St. Louis Cardinals. And the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, which are the high A affiliate of the Milwaukee Brewers. So that is all the teams in the Midwest League. Now, for the Dragons this year, like I said, they won 18 out of the last 19 games, finished 31-32 in the second half. And in the second half, they actually outscored their opponents by 4 runs toward the very end of the season. So that obviously was a major achievement. They finished 16-15 at home in the second half, 15-17 on the road. And the big win streak started last month when they hosted the Peoria Chiefs in Dayton, and they swept the Chiefs. Then they went on the road to Fort Wayne, swept the Tin Caps, and then came back home to face the Lugnuts in the last series of the regular season and won 5 out of those 6. The one loss, though, was last Thursday night, and had it not been for that loss, the Dragons would have set an all-time Midwest League record of 18 consecutive wins, and that would have surpassed the 1965 Cedar Rapids Colonels, who won 17 straight games back then. And then looking at the overall Midwest League records this year, you had the West Michigan Whitecaps won the first half. They also won the second half, and they won the first playoff series game last night in Lake County. So all West Michigan needs is one more win to advance to face off against either the Cedar Rapids Colonels or the Beloit Skycarp for the championship series that will be taking place this time next week. So the Whitecaps of West Michigan, they outscored their opponents this year by 294 runs. So, man, what a record-setting year for them. 92-39 in the regular season, which tied the all-time minor league record for the best win percentage. So really amazing to see that. The Lake County Captains 74-58, getting that last playoff spot by 1 game over the Great Lakes Loons, who finished 72-58. The Captains outscored their opponents overall this year by 59 runs. The Loons by 69 runs, outscoring their opponents. The Loons finishing 72-58. The Lansing Lugnuts finishing 62-70. They got outscored by their opponents by 93 runs. The Tin Caps of Fort Wayne finished 56-75. They got outscored by their opponents by 114 runs. And then the Dragons of Dayton finished 52-76 overall this year. Overall, they got outscored by their opponents by 112 runs. And you look at the home and away records, and this is what I'll end the video with. For the West Michigan Whitecaps, 48-17 at home, 44-22 on the road. And of course, these records are just for the regular season. They do not apply to the postseason, I might add. So just wanted to clarify that. But very quickly, before I share the overall records for both sides, I just want to say for the West Michigan Whitecaps, they have had a phenomenal year. And of course, when Detroit's top prospects, Max Clark, Jose Brasino, and Kevin McGonigal all went to Erie from West Michigan. Erie, of course, the AA affiliate of the Tigers. Everybody thought West Michigan would probably not be any good, but they definitely answered the call, and West Michigan just carried that momentum all season long. And of course, the Lake County Captains had a lot of guys go up to Akron earlier on this year, and the same for the Great Lakes Loons. They of course had some top prospects. Jose DePaula and Zahir Hope. And those guys just got sent to AA actually yesterday. And for Lansing, they had a couple of guys in the top 30 prospect list. And then for Dayton, of course, Dayton, they were highlighted by Carlos Jorge, who's ranked number 22, I believe, on the Reds' top 30 prospect list. They also had Ricky Cabrera in their top 30 as well for the Reds, also in Dayton this year. He was injured all year long. But the pitching, though, by Dayton, especially in the second half, with some very, very key relievers, Brody Jesse, Cody Adcock, Dylan Simmons, and Joseph Menifee. So those are just a few of Dayton's key pitchers out of the bullpen that really stepped up in the second half and helped the Dragons out in winning some games. Also, Easton Sikorsky also helped out with that. And he, of course, got promoted to AA Chattanooga back in the end of July. So continuing on with the home and away records, Lake County 38-28 at home, 36-30 on the road. The Great Lakes Loons better at home, 37-28, 35-30 away. Lansing 35-31 at home, 27-39 away. So they definitely struggled on the road. Fort Wayne kind of struggled all along, 28-38 at home, 28-37 on the road. So kind of even. And then the Dragons 26-37 at home, 26-39 on the road. And looking at the West Division, the Quad Cities, River Bandits 74-58 overall, Cedar Rapids Colonels 72-60, Beloit 68-63. So what's kind of weird about that is Beloit made the playoffs, but they did not have the highest overall record. And the same thing happened last year with the Portland Sea Dogs. Had the highest overall record, but did not make the playoffs. So it was kind of a carbon copy of that for the Sky Carp, or not the Sky Carp, but for the River Bandits this year. And then Wisconsin 56-74, South Bend 56-75, and Peoria 51-79. The River Bandits outscoring their opponents by 59 runs, the Colonels by 28 runs on the positive side, and Beloit outscoring their opponents plus 16. But the biggest one was the Timber Rattlers of Wisconsin. They got outscored by their opponents by 103 runs. The South Bend Cubs negative 51 and the Peoria Chiefs negative 52. And looking at the records, 37-29 both home and away for Quad Cities. Cedar Rapids better at home, 40-27 compared to 32-33 away. The Sky Carp 35-30 at home, 33-33 away. The Timber Rattlers 26-40 at home, 30-34 away. So they were better on the road than they were at home, obviously. The Cubs of South Bend 31-35 at home, 25-40 on the road. So they were better at home, and a lot of that was in the second half where the Cubs were right in the heart of playoff contention and then got on a big losing streak at the wrong time. And the Peoria Chiefs 31-33 at home, but 20-46 on the road. So that obviously is definitely is not going to help them out. And of course they had a really rough year on the road, I should say. And that is a look at the Midwest League, just diving into a little bit of detail here on Matt Sports Talk, just shifting gears a little bit, talking about minor league baseball, which, you know, I used to played baseball actually from 1999 up until 2014. And however, that was just for a league for kids with disabilities. We didn't have any umpires. Nobody kept score. Everybody was safe at first base by default. So it was a really fun league and got a chance to play third base, shortstop, second base, first base a couple of times, pitcher's mound, as well as a little bit of the outfield as well. So really fun times for me. And of course, you know, I'm a big Cleveland fan. So, you know, hopefully the Guardians, you know, can keep sticking around for that potential final wild card spot, as they're right there in contention for that. So, you know, big Cleveland fan, been a big Cleveland fan for 22 years now. So, you know, but I do like minor league baseball, enjoy going to watch, you know, at least when I can, love going to minor league games, and so maybe I'll give a chance to go to more games next year. Obviously, I don't know yet how all that's going to play out, but definitely excited for the 2026 season. And then, of course, you know, after that, I would love to, you know, attend, work, potentially even work in the Pacific Coast League with a team, and and because that's obviously one league that I have not seen yet in person. So I would love to see that, and because obviously you would not see any of those teams in this part of the country, being here in the Midwest region. So that's obviously a goal that I have. But thanks so much for tuning in to this video. And again, if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to either leave me a comment down below, or subscribe to my channel. Any one of those options helps me out greatly, and I truly appreciate any feedback that you provide me. And thanks so much for watching this video. Have a great rest of your day, a great rest of your week, and God bless.